First of all, if you would like to see more Hanja videos, please let me know in the comments and I can keep making more. The point of these videos is not to help you master how to write or read these characters even, but that's usually not necessary. No, it's to be able to recognize their sound and their meaning when you see them used in new words. And the one we're going to be learning today is 용. It originally would have been a drawing of just a plain wooden bucket. In fact, you can kind of still see that shape. You have the lines going across here, might have been the metal holding it together, and this line going down was one of the lines between the wood planks. But eventually its meaning changed over time into just using something. So, to use. And this character appears in a lot of words. In fact, you probably already know some of them. One of the most common ones is this verb, 사용하다, meaning to use something. Now this one has a similar meaning as 쓰다, to use. This one means to use something, but not just to use, it's to use something for a specific purpose, like to use something for something that's concrete, to actually have a purpose for using something. This here, the Hanja sa, actually means personal. So you can also think of it as kind of like personal use. So this one would be using anything such as your computer, or maybe using a credit card. You can use 사용하다, a tool. You can use a resource. You can use the Korean language. You can use a special skill you have. Anything that you're using, no matter what it is, that's for a specific purpose, you can use with this verb. But then there's another verb that also has this hanja in it, not 사용, but 이용하다. And this one also means to use, but it's slightly different. This hanja, 이, means benefit, or a gain, or an advantage. So this means to use something for your benefit. So not specifically you're using it for a purpose, but you're using it because you're going to benefit from using it. So that would often be using some sort of service, like this could be using the subway, or maybe using the library, for example. But because you're using this for your benefit, if you use this with a person, it can also have a negative meaning, like you're using a person for your own personal gain. It can have a negative meaning, like using someone. You can think of it as like to take advantage of something, to take advantage of someone. So you're taking advantage of the subway, you're taking advantage of using the library. That's great, but if it's for a person, it can have a negative meaning. Now, I will say among these three verbs, 사용하다, 쓰다, and 이용하다, 이용하다 is the least commonly used of the three, but it's not unnatural or anything like that. And before you ask, this regular verb 쓰다, to use, is less formal than both of these ones, 사용하다 and 이용하다. So this is going to be the most common one you're going to use. It doesn't sound especially formal. And also remember that 쓰다 doesn't only mean to use, but it can also mean to write. So if you're trying to say write, well, you couldn't use 사용하다 or 이용하다 for that. So if you're wondering which one should you use, well, if you're wondering that, I would say just stick with 쓰다, because this is going to be the most versatile. And then when you want to sound more formal or more fancy a little bit, then you can start using 사용하다 or 이용하다. Okay, let's go on to a couple more words. The first one is 활용하다. Now, 활 means life. You might know it in the word 생활. And this is something that you're using a lot. So you're making good use of something, or you're harnessing something like that. So to make good use of. And there's another word that looks like this, 재활용. 재 means re or again. So this is reuse, to once more make good use of something. And this is the word for recycle. Next we have 악용하다. 악 means evil or bad. So you're using something bad. So you're misusing something, or you're abusing something. So you might abuse your power. You might misuse someone's personal information, like that. And next we have 전용. 전 meaning only. So only use. This is how you would say exclusive use. And this word is often going to appear on signs. For example, you might see a sign that says like employees only, and it'll have 전용 on the sign. So if you ever see this on a sign, just don't open the door. It's probably not for you unless you work there. Or you'll also see this used commonly on traffic signs. Like if there's a bus lane, you might see bus, like a picture of a bus, and then it'll say 전용. That means exclusive use for buses only, or maybe 자전거, like bike. 자전거 전용. So this would be a lane only for bicycles. You'll also just commonly see 용 added to the end of Hanja words, and it means for the purpose of. You might see clothing or cosmetics that are labeled as 남성용 or 여성용. So this would be for the purpose of, literally for the purpose of males, so for men or for women. Or you might see something at school that's labeled 학생용. So something that is for the purpose of students, so for students. You get the idea. You'll see a lot of words that simply end in 용. In fact, where have you seen this character used? I'm curious to know where or if you've ever noticed this Hanja before. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in another episode. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.